questions that you guys may have. I say we just bring them out. Are you guys ready? Privilege to bring to the stage, we have Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lanter!
Well, I guess I can't drop the hello there.
Today too.
Where are you going to put him? Oh, you're going to wear his face. Okay.
Hello there.
Never mind.
Well, the three of us are so excited to be here at Twin Cities Con. All right.
Yeah, James unfortunately came down with a really bad cold and he wanted to be here so bad, so we decided to bring him with us. So here, let's give him a seat.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Where are you going to put him? Oh, there he goes. So chatty.
Oh, thank you. We need help to keep James up. He's a little tired.
Tuck him in.
There we go.
Here it is.
Behave.
Only you guys. This is so special. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. How's the weekend been so far?
Oh, it's been wonderful.
Great, yeah.
Yes, I actually have family here in Minneapolis. Where's my family? Raise your hand. There they are. I've got my cousins here. So and my mom here as well. So I'm super proud. Whenever I get to come here, I'm just so honored I get to see family and everyone treats me like family. So I'm excited to be back.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here this weekend. Before we get started, if it's okay with you, I wanted to ask, because I saw your recent post about a new audio drama. Are you allowed to talk about it before we delve into things? Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I am allowed to talk about it. I just announced that I signed a deal with Disney to do a new audio drama. So anyone, are you familiar with audio dramas? It's like a new story but told as a podcast. So it's going to be completely fiction, a new story, so you've never heard of it. It's completely new. And I get to be an executive producer on it and the voice of the lead, hopefully get this guy on it at some point. But it'll be completely fully produced and I'm excited to share it with everyone. It's still about a little ways off, but it's coming, and if you like Star Wars and you like Ahsoka, you're going to love this story.
So in the meantime, we must remain patient, and we can talk about Clone Wars. So obviously there's a lot of like mythology and themes that are part of the show. I want to know, are there any specific themes or lessons from the Clone Wars that have personally resonated with you two? Or three?
James?
Yeah, James?
Nothing? All right.
Okay.
So shy.
Yeah, he says he needs to think about it for a minute.
Don't choke your wife. That's a definite lesson that we all learned.
Anakin Skywalker.
Don't side with the evil empire. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I told Ashley, I was like, you might have to take this panel. I'm feeling like I'm just not firing on all cylinders today. It's just like one of those days. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You want me to take it first?
Yeah, you want
think
a better
about
answer.
it? Okay. For me, this lesson I kind of learned really in the past couple years. It really hit me.
Watch, this is going to be so serious. And like in-depth and smart. Go ahead.
This really is the dynamic between the two of us. Even though this guy is super smart. But
Wow.
okay. So, with my mom in the audience, really, so much credit goes to my mom and dad. One of the number one rules in our house, they raised us to be kind. The rule was to treat others as you would want to be treated. And so we would really get in trouble if we were not kind to somebody else. And so I was raised to be kind, but growing up as a young girl, people would always tell me, they'd say, why are you so kind? Like, you gotta be tough. You're too nice. Stop being so nice. And so I never associated being kind and being tough as the same thing, or kind and powerful. I always looked at kindness as kind of a weakness. And it wasn't until Ahsoka taught me that kindness is powerful. You know, really truly what makes Ahsoka so powerful is her kindness. You know, and it really wasn't until season 7 that I realized that. The episodes with Trace and Rafa, the Martez sisters, Rafa asked Ahsoka, she's like, why are you helping us? You know, they were two strangers to her. You know, so Rafa didn't understand why Ahsoka truly risked her own life to help them. And Ahsoka says, in my life, when you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what. I guess it's just who I am. And at that moment, I realized, wait a minute, it's not just the fact that Ahsoka is fierce with 2 lightsabers. No, her true power is her kindness, and kindness is powerful. So that's the biggest lesson that I'm taking away from Ahsoka right now.
You see what I mean? Ashley is so kind, and we're like, are we allowed to say the notes that Dave used to give you in the room?
Yes, yeah, you can say that.
Dave used to have to give her the note, okay, Ashley, you're gonna have to think of like dead puppies, because you have to get into a darker headspace for this one. That's how kind she is.
You're very kind, Matt. I like to laugh a lot. And I always wanted Ahsoka to laugh more, and Dave would never let me laugh more. I was always smiling and laughing, and so Dave would say, okay, Ashley, you have to ball up your cuteness. So I literally had to go through the exercise.
Is that what you were thinking I was going to say?
No, I thought you were going to say the part about dead puppies. Right. Because Dave Filoni would make me think of dead puppies, but I would have to go, this is literally what I would do. I think that flew out the door when you talked about your,
Yeah, you're right.
But I would have to like literally ball up my cuteness like this. And then I'd throw it out of the studio. And so then I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to go.
That was cute when you did that just now.
I was gonna also say, like, I love always seeing you guys and the way you guys interact together at conventions and expos. And yesterday, Matt, I saw you gave her a little, was it a little Ahsoka book?
Yeah, I gave her a tiny book with tiny words and tiny pictures. We were in a bookstore, my wife and I, and we found this, it was called like Legendary Women in Star Wars, I think was the title. But it was this cool little book, and it could be turned into a Christmas ornament. So I was like, I know she gets tons of little trinkets and stuff. I was like, I gotta get this thing for Ashley. It has Ahsoka right on the front, so we had to get it.
And we decided that you are now the voice of Tiny Ahsoka. What does Tiny Ahsoka sound like? I am the Jedi.
Booked it. Yeah. Amazing. So I wanted to ask before we get to questions, you guys can start lining up actually, because I'm sure there's going to be quite a few of you over in the corner over there. How do you guys, and Matt Rush.
Is that Matt Ross?
Matt Ross came to our panel. That's awesome.
I love it. How do you guys like mentally prepare and even like emotionally and physically prepare to play like such multifaceted characters?
Well, when you're on the microphone, that you have to still maintain sort of a mic technique. So, physically we couldn't do a whole lot, but you did, and so did I. We used to take our pencils and kind of wave them around like sabers, but we have to be very careful not to do that just to see how it works. It doesn't work, so.
But also I have to say, Matt is such a nice guy, and so luckily you played mostly good guy Anakin, but the Mortis arc, you had to tap into that dark side a little bit.
Yeah,
what was that like?
That was the first time that I really got to kind of play with Anakin in that darker headspace, and it was fun for me because we all know where he's going, and so to kind of tap into those moments. Dave and I used to call those flashes of the dark side, when we had those moments where you see Anakin doing something that's questionable or not very Jedi-like. And so those were always fun moments for me to do.
Yeah. And fortunately for me, I was cast as Ahsoka to just be myself. So I was always able to bring my own heart, my own soul, my own personality to the character. So I literally just tried to channel if Ahsoka was devastated, how would I be devastated? When Ahsoka is sarcastic, you know, I can be sarcastic a little bit. So I was just trying to be myself, you know, whenever possible.
I think that's why both the characters were like super relatable. Like, seriously, you guys are so awesome. Okay, so I want to say before we get to the questions, like looking out to the sea of people, there's so many
incredible
Ahsoka and Anakin cosplayers. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Can you stand up if you're cosplaying? Can you stand up so we can see everyone? Oh my goodness! Wow! Amazing!
There's some Obi-Wans out here. James?
Now we got some. Hello there.
You guys are brilliant.
Oh, what does your sign say?
I love
my eyesight. I'm failing. Oh, Anakin Skywalker. That's you.
Grandpa talked at once. It is extremely hard for us to see you guys. These lights are so bright, but you love Anakin Skywalker? That's awesome. Me too.
Let's go to our first question. Come on down. Yeah. Oh, there's a
Spotlight. Step into the spotlight.
I was not expecting a spotlight. First of all, hi, Ashley, love you. I'm a professional artist. If you ever need anything, I would give my heart and soul for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I want to see your art.
Anyway, I guess my question for you is if you could write your own ending for Ahsoka, because we don't know what happens to her at this point, like, you know, how her story ends, how would you want it to end?
Oh gosh, well, Dave Filoni is always watching. And I don't want to get in trouble. So here's what I'll say. A lot of people always ask us, you know, what story we would write, and we truly have the best writers for, you know, Clone Wars and Rebels, and so they write a better story than I ever would. However, I will share my own fan theory. So this is not me wanting to write it, but this is me as Ashley Eckstein, an Ahsoka fan. My own fan theory. I really feel that Ahsoka represents the light side of the Force. You know, the daughter in Mortis gave up her life for Ahsoka, and I think there's some sort of connection there. I don't know what it is. I'm not predicting anything, but you know, Morai is the same colors as the daughter. There's something there, but I think who Ahsoka truly is, she's just good. She's so full of hope, she's so full of light, and I think represents the light side of the Force. So, I don't know that she continues to carry on the light, maybe becomes the light side of the Force, I don't know.
I would have liked to have seen, this is not a question for me, but I'll tell you. I would have liked to have seen Padme go dark side, and Anakin just do like the single dad thing. He's just a regular dad trying to raise his kids on course.
I love that. I think Star Wars needs a what if series.
I get asked about the what if stuff all the time. That would be so cool. I wish we could do
really
that.
cool. I'd watch it. Great question. And seriously, tag me in your art so I can see it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Jared, and thank you guys for my early teen years. Clone Wars was the best for me. So my question is for both of you. In Rebels, when Vader / Anakin and Ahsoka are dueling in the falling Sith temple, and Vader's mask breaks partially, and you can kind of hear Matt and Jane Earl Jones' voices kind of mix and match. How did you guys feel recording that? Like, it was a pivotal moment for both those characters, and I just want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, it was really odd to say those like hateful lines to Ashley in the booth. Just because we'd spent 6 years being kind of the brother-sister relationship, and and it was really odd. It was very, very different. Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more content between the two characters in that moment, just kind of selfishly, but I really only got to say a few lines as Vader. But yeah, what a cool creative concept to layer my voice with James Earl Jones. I think Dave was really going for kind of a confusing thing for the audience. Confusing for Ahsoka, but you know, we're watching more or less through the lens of Ahsoka. So it's just kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, well, going back in time, you have to remember Clone Wars was canceled after season 5, and I mean, I don't know about you, Matt, but I never thought that Clone Wars was going to come back. Like, I never thought we would get a finale or a season 7. So when Matt came into the studio for Rebels, just like Ahsoka was kind of saying goodbye to Anakin in that scene, I was kind of saying goodbye to Matt, because, you know, our last recording at the end of season 5, we thought we were coming back for season 6. We were already recording season 6, but we thought we were coming back for another season. So we never had a goodbye. We never, you know, had that moment where we would say, this is our last episode, let's sign each other's scripts. So having Matt come in and having that moment together of saying, okay, this is it. We'll probably never record together again. It was
no FaceTime at the time.
No.
We're so old, we have no FaceTime. Never see each other again.
It was. At least I was sad. Matt obviously wasn't. But it was real emotion, real tears, and life equals art. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I'm being silly. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like an end, and the end was
There.
It was sad, yeah.
It was sad. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
James, did he have an answer? No, he's just been so quiet.
James,
really quiet.
True story. They didn't know about a lot of like the stuff where Ahsoka was walking away from the Order. They would actually not give the other actors some of the scripts, and they wouldn't show them those scenes. It was kind of like, that's how Star Wars sort of is. It's sort of a need-to-know basis.
Yeah.
And so I know some of these guys got kicked out of the booth when we were recording some of that.
Yeah, Dave Filoni works on a need-to-know basis. So, again, I don't want to get in trouble. When I talk about my fan theories, I know nothing. Like, literally know nothing. So, but we're fans too. So we've got our own fan theories. What's your name?
Hi, I love both of you so much. My question is, what was your favorite season to voice, and what was your favorite season to watch if you watched the show?
Ooh. I think my favorite season to voice was probably season 5 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Ahsoka just really grew up a lot in that season and came into her own. And probably my favorite Ahsoka moment of all time is the season 5 finale, where she walks away from the Jedi Order. Sorry, spoilers. But if you haven't seen it at this point, you've had plenty of time.
It's on them.
But yes, season 5, I felt like she really went on an arc in that season. So that'd be my favorite. What about you?
Yeah, I like 5 a lot as well. I felt like there was a lot of like things that were sort of unspoken between Anakin and Ahsoka. Favorite to watch? Probably 7. Yeah. I mean, I felt a little disconnected from it as far as voicing it. There was a few episodes that Anakin wasn't a part of, but just as a fan watching season 7, I just felt like everybody, you know, from the animators to the writing, the storytelling, the acting, it was all just so superb.
And I love your Ahsoka ears and Ahsoka Muimos.
Thank you.
You know what? I think we should answer this question for James.
Okay.
So James, what's your favorite moment or episode?
My favorite moment was anytime Obi-Wan was on screen. And I particularly loved the Duchess Satine and Obi-Wan storyline. Oh, I didn't see you all there. Hello there. Hello there.
Thank you, James. Thank you so much. Thank you, James. question.
I'm Emmett, and I grew up watching the show with my dad when I was like super little. Like I think the first episode I watched, I was like 2.
So was I.
But my question is like, what's your favorite Star Wars villain?
Well, my favorite of all time is Darth Vader, hands down. I love Darth Vader. I know, lots of Vader love here, and especially now that we know the backstory with Anakin through Clone Wars. But in Clone Wars, I actually love Hondo. I mean, he's not so much a villain. He's kind of doing his own thing, but I love Hondo.
Did I see on the internet somewhere that Urkel is Hondo?
No, Jim Cummings.
No. Like in live action.
Oh.
Like, was that like an AI meme that I saw? It might have been. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know anything. I'm getting a call.
We'll have to Google that.
Okay.
On the interwebs.
My favorite, I love Cad Bane. Just love the Western kind of gunslinger vibe that he's got. And Corey Burton does such an incredible job voicing Cad Bane. I'd love to see more of that character in any format.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Kinsey. Love you both. You guys both did an amazing job vocally crafting Anakin and Ahsoka's growth throughout the Clone Wars. They both grow a ton. I'm curious for both of you if there were any pivotal character development moments throughout voicing them in the series.
Yeah, well, I sort of touched on it. The flashes of the dark side thing for me, I think, in my brain, that felt like Anakin inching closer and closer to his destiny. So yeah, those always stand out for me.
For me, it wasn't necessarily a pivotal moment, but at the beginning of every season, I would sit with Dave and ask about her age. Like, okay, what age is Ahsoka? And kind of life experience. Because as she went through darker times, her voice would reflect that. So in the beginning, where she's in my higher register, like, always in time to save your life, Sky Guy. That was her in the beginning of Clone Wars, to more of the end where, what's one of the lines, she says, I know. At the end of season 5, you can hear that the war has taken a toll on her voice. And then all the way to Rebels, she's in her early 30s at that point. So that's more in my deeper register. And it's like, I'm no Jedi. So she's come a long way from that 14-year-old. And so even when we went back for Tales of the Jedi, which was recent, that was more in the beginning of that 14-year-old Ahsoka, of like, I'm coming, like that. So we're always very mindful of where is she at, and then I would place my voice in that age range.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm wearing my necklace, I love it. Thank
Bob
you.
Ross, what's he gonna ask?
Ross. All right, I'm short. I have to move the mic. Hi. You both give off very happy little tree energy, so I'm gonna
Happy little trees.
I'm giving everybody happy little tree stamps that I carved out of a pencil eraser, and I would just love to give you both a happy little tree stamp, A, and then I have my real question, B. Would you like?
I would love a happy tree stamp.
Do you know that I watch you to go to bed sometimes? Well, all of your paintings kind of look the same, but they're good.
All right, Bob Ross Club. Okay, real question. So, my question for you is, in character, I would like to hear your morning routine. Are you drinking coffee? Are you drinking tea? What is it going to be? And most importantly, which we all so badly want to know, is, do you put the water on the toothbrush first and then the toothpaste? Or like a psychopath, do you just do it dry? I need to know. Please, we all need to know, right? Morning routine. Go. Oh yeah, toilet paper over or under?
And how do you pull it? Do you crumple? Sorry. It's a lot of pressure.
Well, Sky Guy, I don't know about you, but when I wake up in the morning, I like coffee. But dairy isn't so good on my stomach, so I pour some oat creamer in, sometimes with a little bit of honey, because I like to be sweet and sticky, or snippy, sweet and snippy, but...
She's hot, snippy, sweet.
But what about you, Sky Guy?
Well, I think Anakin wakes up, has black coffee, dark roast.
There's more caffeine in light roast.
Yeah, but I was going for a joke with the whole Mustafa. Probably doesn't brush his teeth every morning. He probably forgets because he's like ready for action. He might come back in the afternoon and brush his teeth later, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Bantha steaks for breakfast.
Well, Ahsoka definitely puts water. I definitely put water on my toothbrush before I brush my teeth. Very type A.
Interesting. All right, great questions.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Abby. My question is, if you guys had to go back and kind of change one scene in the show, what scene would that be? And how do you think that would have affected your character's development?
I don't know, there's a lot of things you could change that would affect the whole trajectory of Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess Ahsoka not walking away at all, and them just going to have dinner that night, and waking up the next day, and you know.
Everything's the same.
Yeah, fighting the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to go back to the writers. I really wouldn't change anything. But I was sharing with somebody earlier, I've never been a fan of Ahsoka having a boyfriend. And I love a good love, thank you. I love a good love story. Trust me, I'm a sucker and I will pick a romantic comedy over anything else all day long. But I just felt like Ahsoka's storyline, she doesn't have time for that. Ahsoka doesn't need a boyfriend. And so Ahsoka in Lugs, I get that relationship.
She's a big city girl.
with no romance dreams. So yeah, that was just more of like a blip on the radar for me. I didn't think she needed a relationship.
Thank you guys, you are awesome.
Thank you, so are you. Thank you.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Nate, and I was just curious because I think it's very important that. Hold on. I actually wrote this down. So I wanted to know whether or not there was a conversation for you, Ashley, to be actually playing Ahsoka in the live action, and that's not to discredit Rosario's performance. That's awesome. But I wanted to know because it's a conversation I've had with some of my friends.
I think in a general sense, we have to stay away from live action stuff and stuff that's recent, just to support our
Yeah, with everything.
our fellow actors with the sex strike.
Thank you. But what I will say is, both Matt and I actually, our backgrounds are in live action, and kind of for all voice actors, I hear a lot. People are like, oh well, they couldn't do that because they're just a voice actor, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. Voice actors are some of the most brilliant actors I've ever met because you have to convey the same thing without showing your face, without showing your movement. You literally have to just do it with your voice. And so, I mean, I'll say for both of us in the general sense, we're both very proud of all different types of acting. I started in theater, then went on to live action. Matt, you kind of started in modeling and then live action, right?
Well, I was cast in a show for modeling, and I got kicked off for being fat, and it's all good. And it got me where I am today, so.
Well, so long story short, I would love, of course I would love to play Ahsoka in live action one day. I would love to play many more live action roles, just like Matt is going to go on and be the biggest movie star. I'm like his biggest hype friend. But I will say this. While I might not have had the chance, I will always, always celebrate and support any and all Ahsoka stories, whether I'm a part of them or not. So I think I'm just thrilled that Ahsoka's storyline gets to continue. So thank you.
Yes.
And I just want to say, Ashley, I love Ahsoka because of you. You know, you're my Ahsoka, and I just... Maybe I'm a little biased, but...
Thank you.
Good. Hi, I'm Jackie. First of all, thanks just for everything. My sister and I watched you when we were little, so this is awesome.
Thank you.
My question is, just because I've heard actors in other franchises, particularly Doctor Who, talk about this, did you anticipate when you got hired for Clone Wars and cast and everything, that it was going to result in something that, you know, you have a fandom specifically for that, and for other things of course, but the fandom for Clone Wars has lived through cancellation and revival and all of that. Did you anticipate this when you got cast?
I mean, I certainly didn't. I wasn't the fan of Star Wars then when I was cast as I am now, which I think really served me well, because I was flown up to Skywalker Ranch and talked to George in his office about Star Wars and about Anakin. I don't know that I would have been able to do that without peeing my pants if I was as big of a fan as I am now.
And you're a big fan now.
I am a big fan. My dog's name is Ahsoka. I had Star Wars at my wedding. I didn't know. You got to remember, at the time that we started doing this, there were 6 films. I'm like, that's it. Well, we had the micro series, but that was kind of on a smaller level. You know, so this animated Star Wars thing was sort of a weird, like, untested territory. You know, so I certainly didn't know, you know, that 15 years later we would be sitting here talking to all these people about Clone Wars love and celebrating it.
Yeah, and for me, the answer is same as Matt. No, I didn't anticipate really what Ahsoka would go on to become, and all of this. It's just incredible. And please know, we love all of you all as much as the love you give to us. So we are so grateful, and thank you so much. But here's what I'll say. I didn't anticipate this. This has exceeded my wildest expectations, but I always hoped that people would learn and grow to love Ahsoka as much as I do, and I think that's happened. Yeah.
Thank you. Not to mention the platform that it sort of gave Ashley to create her universe and you know, to include female fandom so much more than they were, you know, 10-15 years ago. I mean, it's just been amazing to witness, you know, what you've done with the whole thing. But yeah,
well,
the show's done.
It's easy to forget, Ahsoka was the first female Jedi that was a lead character in the Star Wars universe. So, yeah, let's not forget that. Before that point, other than briefly seen in the movie, we never got to see a lightsaber in a girl's hands every week or in a prominent role. And so I knew...
Like Sith Padme.
Yes. I think that would have been really cool. So I knew Ahsoka was going to be a big deal and a game changer, and I'm just so glad, you know, she in many ways blazed the trail for what we have today. Girl power.
I'm Sam, you're right, she definitely did. There are not enough words in the galaxy to describe how appreciative I am for you guys. For my question, so as you progressed through Clone Wars and you guys grew, and your characters grew, having to go back to Tales of the Jedi, and in episode 5 and being to the characters that you were, you know, years and years ago, did you have to do anything particular, you know, mentally to prepare for that? Was it a natural progression because you've been, you know, using the character for so long, or what does that entail?
It was kind of fun because I went back and watched the movie, and actually no, I watched season 1. So I watched season 1, and just kind of some of Ahsoka's kind of pivotal scenes. And the way I explain it is, do you have a really comfy pair of boots that right? And you've already, like, they've already molded to your foot and you just love them. They're so comfortable, you can walk like many miles in them. That's how I feel about Ahsoka, no matter what her age is. Once I realize, like, okay, I'm playing young 14-year-old Ahsoka, I just step back in those boots and they're really comfortable and I'm just ready to go. So it was a lot of fun.
For Anakin, I started a little bit more just kind of in my speaking voice, kind of higher. And if you watch the series, as the seasons progress, I kind of got a little deeper with it. So he's a little bit more down in here, you know, towards the end. Ahsoka, Rex. But yeah, I mean, when I started, so for me, I had to kind of go back a little bit more towards just like my regular speaking voice, and he was younger and, you know, everything, so.
Thank you so much.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left. I'm so sorry.
Ooh, you look great.
Thank you. I'm Ray. I'm disabled, non-binary, queer comedian.
I love it.
And here's one joke for you. Why do I have lightsabers? I have hand tremors. That should be considered dangerous.
You and Edward Scissorhands in the same category.
Yes. Anyways, my question is what's Ahsoka's sexuality?
What's Ahsoka's sexuality?
I ship her with trays, but
I feel like if we're not allowed to talk about future storyline or whatever, you're definitely going to get a call if you try to answer this.
Yes. This is 100% a question for Dave Filoni. This is not a question for me. So we have never written the storylines or created the story behind our characters. So much credit goes to Dave and the writing staff for that. So we're going to continue to let them do their jobs. But I definitely asked Dave.
well, what you think?
Again, we'll get in trouble if we
Will you duel for me?
Oh gosh. Oh, I was gonna say maybe come to their table after. You guys are gonna be at your table after the panel. Thank you so much for the question, and I love that you have the 2 lightsabers. You're amazing.
Thank you. I think it's amazing. You're very funny.
What's your question?
My name is Craven, and I am a big fan of Star Wars. Been my whole life. Been a writer. Been trying to taken big, giant inspiration from my writings and to create my own science fiction universe.
Wow, congratulations.
And Clone Wars was one of the first things I was exposed to. But my question is not as serious, because of course, if we talk about this era of Star Wars, someone's going to bring up the memes at some point. So, have you been exposed to it? If you have, like the 2 prequel memes, if you have, what is your favorite one? Like, meme related to your characters or anything like that?
Ooh, of course I have. I'm blanking at the moment. I literally am completely blanking on any Ahsoka memes, and then especially prequel memes.
I did see a meme where Padme had Sith. She had Sith eyes. And it was awesome.
Somebody needs to write this.
Thank you for the question. I mean, I guess if you have any good ones.
Thank you. I'm sorry we don't have a great answer for it.
Can I ask a different question?
Sure.
What is your favorite obscure random Star Wars character?
It's not that obscure, but I do love Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, what is do you guys know Jimmy Mack and Jason Swank? What is it? Jimmy loves what's his name? Kitster, doesn't he? Loves Kitster from the prequels. You know, the kid. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? No? Okay. Oh, you do. All right. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. What's your name?
Wizard. Yeah, Wizard. That's Wizard.
Hi, my name's Eric.
Hi.
Just wondering, when Hayden Christensen came back as Anakin, he went through every single episode of Clone Wars. Wondering if he reached out to you and discussed Anakin?
I mean, again, not to, but I don't know if that falls on you.
I don't know. We've had conversations just backstage before, when I see him. Not necessarily about Anakin, sometimes about Anakin, so yeah. I know that's vague, but probably shouldn't.
Again, we're not allowed to speak about the series with the current strike, but I will say this. I was a bystander at a recent con watching the two of them talk, and it was just so cool. It was really cool to see the two of them interacting, and then I completely geeked out, and I felt terrible, but I asked for a photo with the two of them, and I booted James out. I said, James was like, do you want me in it? And I was like, no. And then I felt bad, and I apologized to him afterwards, and I was like, but I just wanted it with my two Sky Guys.
We're going for a thing.
I was going for a thing.
Good question. Thank you. All right. Our final question. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Leo. If you could bring the prequels to Star Wars, Clone Wars, would you? If you had the option to bring the prequels.
If we had a chance to do like prequel material as Clone Wars, is what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think what we've seen with Tales of the Jedi is that there's moments of time, even if they happen parallel, there's moments of time that we haven't seen. So have you seen Tales of the Jedi yet? So it's so cool because these are just kind of daily moments, slices of life, but they're pivotal moments. And so I think even throughout the prequels, there's these moments of time that got cut on the editing room floor, or maybe never made it in the script, that could be told.
Like Sith Padme?
Like Sith Padme. I think that's the one thing I'm taking away from this panel. Is Sith Padme. Anyone want to draw her? Draw her, bring it up to Matt's table.
The artist from earlier.
Oh yes, yeah. Yes, Sith Padme. Okay, I got you. Thank you. That's a great question. Well, awesome.
Thank you guys so much. This flew by.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
We gotta get Matt, let's get a selfie with James.
Here. James, smile, please. Come on.
Thanks for being a part of this, James.
And then, let's get a video. Okay, we're doing a selfie video. So, once I turn the video on, what do we say? Okay, so anyone that wasn't here in this room, they're gonna be so confused. But,
and then tweet at Natalie Portman.
Okay, so we're here at Twin Cities Con in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've got James here. Heather, where are you? Okay, so on the count of 3, we have a new code word. Something special, magical happened here in the panel.